that you don't go through that same thing again. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to go through this again. There's already one where I go into a lot of detail into this, right, that I was explaining to Eddie as well. I just want to also quickly take you through it, so that you just understand, like, generally what's the sales procedure that we expect to follow, because like you've done excellent work and so forth, you've been doing really well, but there's some things that we need to modify to get to our next level. And you were just thrown into it, you were never explained anything, or so you're just trying to add some structure to that. So please don't see it as a criticism of what you're doing or anything. I mean, you've had some crazy months, and yeah, we're not unhappy with what you've done. It's just that we can formalize more and also make sure everybody understands nationally what we expect of them. Okay. Dress code. So if suit, tie is optional, but suit, polished shoes, or if it's in a less casual environment, right? Like a business casual for that type of, okay, shoes may be a bit different, but other than that, generally like a button-up shirt, just looking nice and professional. Golf shirts are also okay, but that's about as far casual as we can go. T-shirts, definitely not, you don't go to a customer with a t-shirt. And the reason why I'm saying not really, you can do suits, right? But if you're going into Kamwala, you're going to look weird with a suit, okay? So we need to just understand like which type of customers we're seeing that day. You're rather overdressed than underdressed, because how serious you take yourself is how serious the customer will take you. Right? If you're coming that day with that mindset of I'm going to do this and I'm going to achieve this today, then the customer will see it. Just merely the way you walk in, they'll already understand what you're doing. Okay? This is like things that we want you to start always having with you: is your laptop, your phone, a notepad, like an actual notepad, like a paper notepad, right? The reason for the notepad is to be making notes when you're talking, because one of the big things like me and Chrilan do to improve our deal sizes, right, is we ask a lot of questions, right? We're asking the right type of questions to the customer, right, to understand exactly what his needs are. Because in there's opportunity for upselling. If you understand his pain points and you can bring solutions to his pain, there's a lot of money in that, right? You can take a deal from 3,000 kwacha to 25,000 kwacha like that. For an example, if you're asking like, if you say like, I'm going to give you a bad example and a good example, right? You walk into a place you see already has computers, then you just think to yourself, he already has computers, so I'm just going to tell him like we can install on those computers, right? Not to say that we don't do that, but asking like generally, how is the performance of that hardware? What challenges are you facing? We also offer a range of competitive hardware, and you explain it as an ecosystem, not as you selling him a computer. You're selling him a solution to his problem, right? When you're in our ecosystem, we have over, I think it's 1,000 printers in the market, right? Of that specific printer, we know it works in Zambia. We know it's going to print a receipt for you for the next 5 years, right? And you bought it from us, so we have parts for it, we have everything for it. When it goes down, immediately you have a new one, right? When you buy our all-in-ones, we've got over 100 all-in-ones in the market, and the moment there's an issue with the all-in-one, we know them. We know them 100%, so we can immediately solve your problem, right? Where if you're going to be running on this hardware and that hardware, then we're going to tell you, no, it's a printer issue. You're going to phone that guy, he's going to say it's a software issue. You understand? So we're trying to sell them on the idea, for example, on an ecosystem. So when you're busy asking questions, right, you'll be starting to hear what is annoying him of his current solution, or why is he looking for this type of solution. So Notepad is very important, because you can then start to actively listen when you ask a question. It's extremely important to actively listen to what he's telling you. So when he's saying something, yeah, okay, actually we've had that before. don't interrupt, but you're going to be like, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying, right? That the guy can see. Otherwise, I don't know who here has done like a Zoom meeting before, like a Teams or Zoom meeting. Have you guys done that before?
Yes.
Now, you know what's the worst thing when you're doing a Teams or Zoom meeting is when everybody's microphones are muted and you're just busy presenting into the sky, right?
You don't even know if that person is
Yeah,
around.
they're busy with their own thing. In your mind, you're thinking like, I've not heard it okay for the last 20 minutes, right? So when the customer is answering your question, you need to look like you care. You actually give a fuck, right? Because issue and that you're an expert, you know how to solve it, you're going to get a deal out of that. So the notepad's a good tool just to be making notes about what is he saying. Because the reason why notepad, right, and not a phone or a laptop is the customer thinks you're busy with other shit when you're on your phone. Okay? So it's an optics thing. He knows the notepad you're writing about him.
Always carry on.
Yes. Just make notes that the guy can see you're not busy texting your girlfriend.
Because your customers have to literally get upset before you are pressing your phone, not knowing you're taking.
That you are doing notes, right? So I have that with you. Then soft copy brochures, so hardware and software, and then we also want to print you physical hard copies, but not to give to the customer, but just to show the customer. But you'll be sharing soft copies with them.
Of the exact same one.
It's exactly what you have in the hard copy, but you just share, because otherwise it's like, I think now having those printed is something like 700 or 800 to have it printed on the right paper. You can't be handing that to every customer, but the soft copy you can definitely share with the customer. And then we'll also be providing you with business cards, right? Because a common thing that I get is like, does Mambo work for you?
Yeah. They only trust the white one. Before
Is it an agent or is he actually part of your team? Okay, so that's one of the things. Generally how the flow goes that comes into this is that the guy there is supposed to, if the lead is coming through the office, he's supposed to set up the appointment for you. And you'll be creating it on the system that you're supposed to be here at that time, okay? So you can go and ask them like how the system is, right? So understand who you're going to go and see. And if it's an industry you haven't dealt with before, you can then reach out and find out from us like what are the common things that is needed in that type of business, okay? So this bit of prep work, right, is going to make you look like an expert as how. Because the other guy's not doing it. I guarantee you the other vendor is not doing that. If there's another vendor competing, he's just pitching for the meeting. Okay? And the good thing about Zambia is everybody's so unprofessional that the moment you're just a little bit professional, you kick their asses like badly. So it doesn't even take that much effort. You know, if you're in South Africa, oh my God, the level of professionalism you need to have to stand up is crazy. Here in Zambia, you just do the basic things. They're already gonna, ooh, wow, these folks know what they're doing. Wow, this folks even think about kitchen printers. The other guys never mentioned kitchen printers. You understand? So do your research. Know who the person is you're meeting. So we're trying to get him to even log the person you're meeting so that you can like, oh, you Mr. Ahmed.
Oh yeah.
I'm Mambo, you Mr. Ahmed. Okay? And plan your travel plans, okay? Guys, being early for a meeting is the best way to close a deal. I cannot tell you guys, like being early, just arriving early, because if you're sitting there and the customer is late, just know it's a deal. Because that customer is coming in with the thing like, shit, I've already wasted the time. Or you've won. But you don't want to be on that side of the point where you're wasting their time. Right? Because then you've lost a big battle if you're late. A big battle. Okay? So be on time. They say early, Zambia, I've seldom seen people be early, but trust me, if you're early, you can quickly have a look at the current setup before the meeting even starts, right?
You have no idea what's happening.
Yeah. Now when he starts to talk to you, because remember us as like decision makers in companies, we meet a lot of now you pique my interest. If you look dull or uninterested, oh my God. I'll just be telling Charity, continue your meal, I've got other things to do. Right? You have to look sharp. You have to speak with enthusiasm about your product, right? Sharp, enthusiastic. Right? Then the guy's gonna know this guy's a professional. right? He knows his product, he knows, even if you don't know the product, just the perception will be that you know your product. And we're going to start creating PDF presentations for different industries, right?
Okay.
You're going to present it, yes, but you're not going to, you're going to first ask questions to the customer, right? Understanding his needs, and then when you do the presentation, you'll be focusing on the things that he was telling, his pain points are, what's important to him, okay? We're just doing a presentation for you guys because we feel there's some features that's not being highlighted enough on the products because you're not even aware of it. Because we have an issue where our developers don't tell anybody about new features.
Yeah, let's discover this.
Yeah, right. So I want to make sure that we have a more of a communication to everybody, not just you, the technical team also, and support of what the functionalities are. So you'll be finding on your dashboard when you log in, there'll be training.
Okay.
And you'll be able to like watch this video that we're doing now and other videos that I've done. All the ones with sound. Yes. You'll be able to view them and you'll be able to get the slides and the PDFs related to it. So that you can go through it on your own time as well and understand what is the product that you're actually selling. Like for example, we did a price increase, are you even aware of that?
Yeah.
You saw it on the DSR app, but we'll be doing more official communications now that you are not seeing it in front of the customer. Now you've already reached 3,120 quite
Yeah.
and then when you do the quote, it's increased. So we'll be doing that. So obviously you're gonna go and like introduce yourself, and if you have his name, it's awesome. People love their names. So if you can greet him like Mr. whatever it is, it helps a lot in setting the tone. Because it also tells him that you're taking the whole situation seriously. Yeah. Ask obviously where you'll be having the meeting from. And yeah, be confident. So just on the confidence thing, there's a trick that I use. You take it or leave it. It's something I learned in psychology, which is when, let's say you're having a insecurity or you're unsure about yourself when you're going into meetings, right? Try and think about somebody that you admire. It doesn't even need to be a real person. It can even be a movie character, anything, right? That person that, like, even if it's hope, it doesn't matter, right? Anybody that when you watch them, you feel empowered, right, in that moment, right? For me, I use Cristiano Ronaldo when he scores a goal, that way he does the sui, right? And I visualize, like, what is his mind like in that moment? And I visualize myself being in that moment, just as I enter a meeting. I'm visualizing myself in that powerful moment, right? I just think of myself being in that powerful moment. Dude, it changes your mindset from one of fear, whatever the case is, to you activating your mind. Another example I always give is like Liverpool team, when they walk into Anfield, they always touch that you'll never walk alone sign. And that is so that their mind switches to now it's game time. So get that thing for yourself to switch on when you walk into the meeting. Right? Because if you're going to think like, oh, I have to smile, I have to look upright, you're going to look like a fool. You need to get your mind into a confident state. And then everything else will come from that. You'll speak more confidently, everything. Otherwise you'll be like, sitting there like an idiot and looking stupid, okay? So get your mind, like try and find that confidence thing for you, what that is for you, and switch on as you walk into that meeting. Be ready for it, right? It's game time. It's not practice time now. Now we in the match, okay? You don't go passively into that environment. You switch on. You get in the moment and you walk into that place. Like for myself, I even walk a little bit faster when I'm going into a meeting. I start speeding up as I get into that meeting because for me it's becoming serious. And I promise you guys I get excellent results in meetings. So get into that mindset where you're doing it deliberately. You're deliberately becoming serious for your meeting. Okay? You start the presentation, you briefly introduce the company, Chrilan Technology. Okay, I'll give you some information that you can use in the introduction. And then this needs to be done in a casual way, okay? It doesn't need to be done like, okay, the presentation is now starting, everybody gather around, okay? I don't know how much you know about our company. So, we Chrilan Technology, we currently supplying smart invoicing to over 1,000 vendors in the country. Okay, and it can even be done in a conversational term. Now, casually note other customers in the same industry or businesses close by. Okay, this is not done like, here's my 7 references. Right? You know, I didn't know that this place is right here. That's actually one of our other customers. You are not saying do your homework. Know who's in the area. Know who's some other, let's say it's a restaurant. Know who's the other big restaurant customers. Right? Because the last thing anybody wants is to be the only fool that fell for a trap.
Yeah.
Right? They want to know there's other people doing the same thing. Okay? So get into that where you do your homework before you even see the customer. Okay. Step 5, ask probing questions. You need to understand what is the reason why they're looking at the software. Okay? Generally now it's the smart invoicing is forcing that decision. Okay? But also you need to understand what is important to them. Right? Like what, if they currently have a software, what's making them look away from it? What did they enjoy? What didn't they enjoy? And the things that they enjoyed, you highlight similar functionalities within us. The things they didn't enjoy, you're gonna be saying, okay, so our support is structured in this. Generally, support is the big issue why people leave softwares.
Yeah.
It's the number one thing you know that everybody's always complaining like they fucking dropped off this PC and they left, right?
Yeah.
Like me, like also for me being in POS, this is not even a uniquely Zambian issue. Number one issue is always support. You hear that, Dom? Number one issue in POS why people leave is support.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's also why for us we're busy doing a big push on support. But you need to understand what is the pain points and highlight how we do that better. Okay? If in the question stage, right? You start to understand that this guy has got requirements that don't fit our software. It's better even if you refer him to somebody else than for you to continue pitching in our software when you've already established that this guy wants an ERP or he wants room booking or he wants this. So, okay, awesome. I want to make it very clear that what you're requesting, we don't currently offer it. And even if we are busy working on it, we don't sell what we're working on, we sell what we have, okay? Okay? Even if you've heard that we're saying maybe that we're doing room booking, we don't sell that now. Because if is room booking an absolute must do? Yeah, it is. Okay, what I'm going to do, I've heard that they're busy working on it. I'm going to put you on the list, okay, on my list. The moment it's launched, I'll give you a call back, okay?
Yeah.
Like right now, I don't know if anybody else does room booking, but I would have even said if you know of somebody, you can even say, for now that's the system that I know of that can do it. Find out if you're happy with it. If you're not coming right, come back to us. Right, then we can give you some workarounds on it. Or if you find out it's like LNA type of customer, you don't pitch them Lyt-Soft. It's the wrong solution, right? So you're gonna say, okay, I know of Sage, SAP, this. These are the things that I think would better suit you. But if you open retail stores, please consider us because we link up with all of those, right? Don't be pitching like a warehouse that no, Lyt-Soft is the ultimate solution for your warehouse, because it just causes, trust me, rather walk away. Okay, rather walk away. We need to be clear on that. Okay. So then you go into your pitch, and then we're also going to show the products, the product brochures to the customer to make sure that like this is the hardware that we offer and explain to them properly what the hardware is. And so this case studies, right? So maybe the guys can say like, geez, we've been having so many issues with theft of this product or that. If you know of other customers that you've helped to resolve that, you're going to be introducing at this point to say like, yeah, these guys also had a very similar issue and we've managed to solve it by implementing A, B, and C. Now, how are you going to be able to do that? Is by doing your research before going there. Okay? Finding out like who's the customers in a similar industry, right? Talking to your fellow employees, like the other technical staff, right? And becoming an expert in your industry. Like, if you want to do sales, right? If you want to be the best salesman, right? You need to be obsessive about knowing what we offer, what the competition offers, what are the customers we have, what are the good things, what are the bad things. You also get involved in your customer, like afterwards, like after a month or two, so is everything fine? How is your experience? Getting involved and getting to know the industry. My gosh, you'll become powerful and you'll earn more money in sales than in any other position in the company if you become obsessive in it. Because it's the thing that is the most scalable. Yeah, obviously at the end of that presentation, you'll encourage questions, right? And none of them, but even throughout the presentation, you can still encourage questions, like as you're presenting something like, okay, yeah, we're going into maybe thought management. How do you currently manage your thoughts? What are the limitations you're finding on that? Now that question, right, makes the guy know that you understand his industry. Right? It again sells you as an expert. You'll forever be his expert because you were asking questions he was even thinking. Yeah, and this addressing concerns calmly and stuff, is if you're in the right frame of mind, you already do it in an appropriate manner. It's all about getting in a serious frame of mind before you even enter the meeting. Because the last thing you want to do is be nervous in a meeting. So you want to try and get into the right frame of mind. Remember, as a salesperson, right, when you enter that place, you can be whoever you want to be. Because you are the one that's introducing the company to that guy, right? Right? You can be whoever you want to be. So whatever has happened in the past is irrelevant when you're a salesperson. You are absolutely presenting that person a new face, a new industry, right? So there's nothing like, oh, what about last week? This happened, it's brand new, okay? It's a new relationship that you are starting. So you can forget about the being shy or whatever, because this is a new opportunity. He doesn't know about you, he doesn't know your family history, he doesn't know anything. It's a new opportunity. You can be confident and just get in that right frame of mind, and if it goes to shit, you can have another opportunity in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Someone will be waiting on you.
There'll be somebody else. So once we're done, we need to get into the quality phase. So if we've completed a pitch with somebody, we have to do a quote. Okay? Because that's part of the system now that is being implemented will be making sure that if you go and see a customer and you need to quote him, it really needs to have a valid reason if you didn't quote. Right? Like, okay, this guy is asking for shit that we don't have. Okay? There's gonna be a specific form you need to fill out with his business details. So a little bit more complex than what we currently, because currently you just get a company name and an even, yeah. If even, I think you just need a name. What is the system even requiring? And a phone number. I want to do the quote generation while we are with the customer, so that we can show him the quotes and address any concerns while we're there. Also provide him with a soft copy of the hardware brochure. If he hasn't bought the hardware, you still need to send him the hardware brochure, so that whenever his hardware is giving him issues, he'll be thinking about that. And then we need to ask for the deal, guys. We need to try and close that deal, right? Make sure that we're actually asking. Okay, so if you're happy with everything here, you just make the payment to this link and it gets processed automatically. And explain to them, talk in a sense as if the deal is done, right? Explain to them, okay, so generally it takes 2 days after that or let's say the next day Grace is going to phone you, the admin lady, she's going to be sending you through all the additional documents you require. And then normally within 2 days, someone will be on site busy with the installation, right? So we need to make it clear that we are closing many deals, which we actually are closing a tremendous amount of deals, so that the guy mustn't be shy to ask for the deal. Because what often happens is, right, everybody's already agreed and then you start pitching, right? The guy is already happy, he wants to fucking, but you keep pitching, and then the issue is, it's in these moments that you make bullshit promises. So get to the point of asking for the, we're happy, can we proceed? Right? So does everything look fine? Are we agreeing? Do you have any hesitation still? And even at that point, if there is hesitation, for now we'll leave it, but as we go on with our sales training, we'll be going through how to break through hesitations on the follow-ups, right? How do we loop through the excuse of, no, I'm still thinking about it, no, I need to talk to my wife about it. All he's saying actually is that either he doesn't trust the product, or he's not 100% confident in the product, he's not 100% confident in you, or he's not 100% confident in the company. That's what he's actually saying. So there's ways to push up the confidence on each one of those three. But we, for now, if we can just get this flow smoothly, already be closing way higher figures than what you currently do. So you're going to log your meeting notes within the system. So because what's happening now, just to give you an idea, you're going to have, we start at logging, I was actually thinking that it's still written there, but we got baited now. We're going to log the leads. Leads get converted to sales meetings where you now get involved, right? You're going to request your transport on your sales meeting, right? And then a sales meeting gets converted to a proposal, which is quotes. Once you're proposing now the actual deal, right? So on that proposal, you'll be making notes that, okay, the customer is paying tomorrow, or whatever it is that's actually happening. Yeah. Or I'm doing it. It will also generate for your follow-ups. You need to do 2 follow-ups per thing that you've done. Where you, after, let's say, I think it's the next day, and then 3 days later, you're going to phone in the next day, okay, so are we happy with proceeding? Like, there's ways that we're going to, and even for yourself, you know how to phone a customer and ask him now, okay, based on what the conversation was, yeah, have you managed to talk to your wife, maybe as an example, right? And make sure that you follow him up twice, because I feel our follow-up game at the moment is poor. I don't feel we're following up nearly enough to make sure that the customers convert, because that's where conversion ratio comes in, right? And I think, like, for you, you have too many leads at the moment, so you're not able to give each lead the attention it deserves on subsequent days, right? And then the third thing, this is like the golden rule as a salesperson, right? Even if the whole world is burning down, right? And everything is going to shit, right? Even if the whole world is burning down, you've already seen this, and you're okay. We're going through the sales process. But no, the next thing you're involved in, even if everything is going to shit, right? And there was a survey issue, and everybody's, as a salesperson, you answer your phone, okay? Regardless of anything, you have to answer your phone. Your phone mustn't ever go off, okay? Because that guy looked you in the eyes and said, I'm signing up for this. He's going to want you to answer him when things go to hell, okay?
Sometimes I say they even end up accusing support. Have you called support? Their phone is off, so that's why I've called you.
But it will always remain that relationship.
Yeah,
you know what? If you cultivate that relationship with your customer, he's going to refer a lot of people to you. You understand what I mean? Like, because you need to build that relationship with your customer. Okay, that's this one. Then, any questions on that? Let's just quickly go into that. Or we're all generally happy with that flow. Mamba, you happy with the flow of what I was explaining there?
Yeah, it's fine.
Eddie, come.
I'm getting a chair.
Sure. But we're live streaming the wait for you. Armani, any questions on that? You understanding generally what's being said there?
Yes,
So now we're going to go specifically into quotes, right? And how to identify what to quote. Okay, because I think also we're not always understanding what to quote in what scenario. And I think Dom even doesn't know the quoting structure. Like he's not gone through that. So I'm hoping that everybody will. Okay. You know, in Afrikaans we have a saying, self the achterste os kom in die kraal, meaning even the last cow will be getting into the kraal. Okay, so the first part of what we were doing was what me and you were doing in any case, so I think you're already aware of that when we were going through the presentation of how to do a sale.
Yes.
Was it with you? Okay, cool. Now we're going to go into the technical details of what to quote what type of business. Okay? Basically, the industries break down into two types of industries, right? Which is from the guys who have installed the apps, is restaurant and retail. Okay? But what it breaks down to is food and beverage and goods resellers. So goods resellers is anybody, they buy that Pepsi and they sell that Pepsi. They're not making anything or trying to convert anything. Okay? So first we'll start with food and beverage. So restaurant, takeaway, pubs, cafe. Okay? So generally these are the guys that is with the touch screen. Okay? They use the restaurant POS. Okay? Is there anything that I missed here, by the way? Because when I was making the list, it was just me alone, so I can't remember. Is there any other types of businesses that are like restaurants, takeaways? I think it's just those ones, eh? No, pharmacy is a different type of business. So the food and beverage businesses generally use touchscreens, right? Because the reason why they use touchscreens, they require multiple on-screen options. So they're like select burger, and then it will be asking what side option do they want. So it's a lot of repeated clicks to select a product, right? And also another thing where touchscreen becomes useful is when it's not 1,000 plus products, it's lesser products, but they're more complicated products, right? So generally, your food and beverage industry requires a touchscreen. So when you're quoting, if it's a really cheap car, you can say that we can do it on a non-touch screen, but it's highly recommended to go with an all-in-one. You shouldn't be going with the desktop PC. Because now it's using a mouse to click, 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 it's slow.
Yeah.
So you need to ask for him like, yeah, it's, let's say, I think desktops are 7,100, all-in-ones are 14,500, right? But you need to ask him like, how much does he value the time of his employees in that sense? Like, would having a faster system, what value is that to him? You understand what I'm saying? Because you're actually selling the sales speed to him at this point, right? It's not just a matter of, oh, one is touch, one is not touch. You need to understand the value proposition. And it's all about the speed of sale at this point, right? So a touch screen for a restaurant business is way faster. And you can even say like, you don't go into a hungry line and find them clicking with a mouse, right? There's a reason for that. Because they trust me, hungry line, if they can save money, they're going to, right? So they tried it. There's a reason why they're going with touch screens, okay? So I highly recommend touchscreen interfaces when it comes to any of the food and beverage industry. Okay. Generally, they break into three types of setups in the food and beverage place. So one is waiter station, which is an all-in-one PC and a receipt printer. Okay, there's slides explaining each one. Then there's cash points. So that's basically a waiter station with a cash drawer. Okay. And then there's handheld tablets, so that's purely for order taking. So depending on if they don't have enough waiter stations, they would maybe add some tablets and stuff like, who's seen Scallywags? No, you have seen it? So they have like tablets mounted against the wall throughout the building to allow waiters to just take orders. But that means that they can't be doing receipt printing from those tablets. So it's purely just order taking tablets, okay? So what is a waiter station? So generally think about it, right? If the waiter is working there, it should be a waiter station, okay? If it's a cashier, It probably, if it's a barman, it shouldn't be a waiter station, okay? So the fact that it's a waiter will tell you that they're not going to need a cash pool. Generally, they carry the money with them, or they take it somewhere to be invoiced, okay? So what does a waiter need? A waiter needs a computer to punch the order in and a printer to print the bill slips. Okay, that's a waiter station. Okay, so when we look at it, the waiter station is primarily for a waiter to take an order and print a bill. Those points are normally stationed, not stationed at the bar. Okay, they're normally like in the middle, somewhere central, right, or away from busy places. You'll normally find it in a corner or by a pillar, something like that, right? It's not normally at the bar, right? This is normally used with a waiter and not in a takeaway environment. So what you're seeing at for example, a Hungry Line is not a waiter station, it's a cash point. Okay? The difference being they have a cash drawer. That's the only difference between a cash point and a waiter station, okay? The hardware is exactly the same, but you need to understand that this is a waiter station, so don't quote the cash drawer. You don't want a cash drawer at a waiter station because now multiple waiters will be mixing money in them. It's going to be a disaster, okay? And also waiter stations, normally people walk away from them. They're normally unattended for long periods of time. So you can't be putting a cash drawer where there's nobody present all the time. And then it goes hand in hand with being at a table and getting a bill at the end of the meal. So waiter stations are places where you sit and wait for a bill, okay? If you pay in cash immediately or you're forced to pay before you are served, you don't do waiter stations. Are we following what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this is just a guide to tell you like, okay, we're going to quote only all-in-one and a printer, or do I need to include a cash drawer, okay? So if there's like people sitting at tables and there's waiters, waiter stations can work. If it's a place where you have to pay before you are served, you have to include cash drawers, okay? So then we go into the cash point, which is just a waiter station with a cash drawer, okay? A cash point is at the bar or at an exit, and generally I have only one user working on it per shift, okay? You're not going to be having multiple users on a cash point in one shift, because then money is mixed. Okay, so when you're busy quoting, you like have to ask the customer like, how many people are you planning on allowing to be punching from this machine in a shift? If you say multiple users, yeah, it's a good idea to tell them don't even get a cash drawer at that point. Okay, if it's one user, so get a digital cash drawer that it will lock and open via the system, so you can even know when they're opening and closing it. Okay. And when people pay cash for things, cash card, or they complete the transaction at that point, right? So bars, takeaways, and like who here goes to Spa? Yeah. What restaurants do you excited about?
The cheap ones.
Huh?
The cheap ones.
Okay, my gosh. The ones that don't have once? Yeah, so but you'll find like the part where there's a person standing by the computer the whole time, that's what you consider a cash point. The part where it's a computer standing somewhere alone, it's just waiters going there and punching, that's a waiter station, okay?
Yeah.
Don't include the cash flow there, we're going to cause havoc.
So like, for example, the way the
But you do understand you can combine it, right?
Yes.
Because if you have that person who everybody is going to cash to, he will need that. But
Okay.
then for the other people like the waiters that are working, also need to consider the previous one to say they will need this too. So now what you're increasing is your team size. Instead of just one thing, two things now. They need for the cashiers, for the waiters, and also because it's not just like if you get this then this is it. No. So what you're getting now is also
Wow, you get what from your product.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Okay, sure. Okay. So it goes hand in hand with pay before you are served type of mentality, okay? Or like you were saying in a restaurant, if the waiters take the money to a certain point to get the invoice. Okay. So who here has been to, what's that, the coffee shop? No. Well, Vida is an example, right? Vida, where you go there, what is Vida using? Are you using waiter station or a cash point? Yes, because you are forced to pay, right, immediately. So Vida East Park actually has a waiter station. Have you seen that? Who's been to East Park?
Yeah, I think it has because the way
On the right hand side in the corner, there's another computer with no cash drawer, just as a computer and a printer. That would be a waiter station. So the only reason why it's important to identify is that when you're doing your quotes, like not to overquote on cash draws or to underquote on cash draws, right? But one thing I think in Zambia, there's a misperception of the value of a cash draw. There's a lot of value in knowing when somebody has opened that thing, because you have to explain. This is not the cash or the key. The key, you're going to take it with you. That the system controls when it's open, right? If you can explain that, because our cashews are not selling nearly enough the way that I know they're supposed to. Okay, so we need to communicate that better. Okay, additional things for the food and beverage industry is kitchen bar printers. So how do you know that you need a kitchen printer or bar printer? You'll be asking the customer, okay, once they punch the order, how is the kitchen going to know what to make? So let's say a customer who's not going to invest a lot of money in their business will be saying, no, it can just print it, they can run with the ticket, right? But most will tell you, I have a printer for me for that. And then at the bar as well. Now they'll be telling you, but I have a computer at the bar, right? Explain to them, it's better to add a separate printer for the bar printing. It's more consistent, and now you're not going to have to use on the PC blocking things, and that one works independent of the computer, right? And you can even make it that now the barman, you can move that printer separately. For if there's a separate person pouring drinks and stuff, he doesn't have to stand on top of the barman the whole time to wait for the seats. Okay, so it's better to have your separate printer. And then there's also the kitchen tablet. Who knows about the kitchen tablet? You know about it, but our salespeople don't.
No, I do.
You know about it?
Yeah.
Then what does it do? Explain it to me.
So it's stuck somewhere in the kitchen. So once orders are placed, there's a provisional system able to see where which meal is. They say there's multiple tablets, you're able to identify, okay, this meal has been sent to that tablet. Then it will also give you like preparation times. You'll be able to tell the person, okay, this meal will be ready in the next 5, 10.
And how are you going to see that?
As
the owner or the manager?
So once you're logged in onto the system, there's where it says kitchen orders. Once you click on the kitchen orders, then it will bring up that it's available on which tablet.
So there's actually a separate app for you to also see how long does it generally take to make certain food items and stuff.
Oh, there's a separate app.
That kitchen order is for the waiter, that once the food is done, it notifies the waiter that your food is now ready to be picked up. So we'll do additional training on that because I know it's not being communicated right. Okay. So now we've established what is needed, so we need to quantify it. So let's say it's 3 waiter stations and 1 cash point, right? So now we know, okay, each waiter station is an all-in-one and a printer, all-in-one and a printer, all-in-one and a printer. So that's 3 all-in-ones, 3 printers, okay, and 1 cash point. So that's another all-in-one, another printer, and a cash drawer, okay. Then the guy wanted a bar printer and a kitchen printer, so you need to add a bar printer and a kitchen printer. Okay. Then we at least know the hardware now of what we are quoting that person. Okay. So now you need to go on the DSR app and select the appropriate product and the right quantities based on your assessment for the customer. Okay. So that's just going through exactly what we're talking about now, like asking and so forth. And then also confirm how many total pieces will be using the system. Because they might have laptops and stuff that they're going to be logging in, because part of your quote, you have to quote software. Okay? So you need to know how many, and are they paying monthly or annually. We're going to go more into the software quoting just now. Goods resellers, so supermarkets, butcheries, clothing stores, wholesalers, liquor stores, pharmacies. Okay? So these all generally don't need touchscreens. They can, but it's not that crucial for them to get touchscreens, and they are more likely to need barcoding solutions and scanners. Okay, so that's what you're looking at for these industries. I'm not saying don't sell an all-in-one, but I'm saying it's not that crucial for them to have an all-in-one. They focus on the speed of sale generally, right? That's what's important to them. They prefer barcode scanning over touch because they generally, like, you can't be allowing, you can, but it's stupid to like let somebody use, let's say, an on-screen keyboard and trying to search through 15,000 products by typing the name. The amount of cashier training and stuff you need will be through the roof, right? Where a menu, somebody can learn it in 2 days. Right? You're not learning ShopRite's product list in 2 days. You'll be searching like a mad person. So that's why we go for scanning, okay? And touchscreens are optional, and they're primarily used in the checkout process in these industries, right? They're not really used in the product selection the way they are in restaurants. So if you have a touchscreen, it's more for the checkout, the pay, how much is being paid, cash card, that.
Just scan, total, okay, pay.
Yes.
Payment.
So you can suggest a touchscreen, but understand that it's not like you're going to force a touchscreen the way you have to in restaurant. In restaurant, you have to make it clear. By not doing touchscreen, you're going to actively slow down your sales process. Okay. Okay. So generally, we would recommend a barcode scanner. Keyboards, so actually having a keyboard there that, like for wholesalers, they generally can't use scanners because the products are too big to put on the counter, or the products are not even where they are selling. So maybe like Kumbuka, which is a wholesaler we have, here in Lusaka you don't see these types of wholesalers that much, but in the copper belt they're very common where the products are not even where the people are. Okay, so your keyboard is very important, explaining to them how to search and select the products and those type of things. Butchers and supermarkets, it's important to explain to them the benefits of having an integrated scale. We're selling way too few scales in a year. Yeah. It means that we're not explaining correctly to the customer the benefits of having an integrated scale, right? Now an integrated scale from Lyt-Soft, immediately make a price change here, it's going to send you to the scale, so you're never having. If you allow your people to be changing the prices on the scale, when their friend comes in, they quickly reduce it, they sell it, they reactivate it, take it back to the old price, and the system won't know shit. The system is not going to know that.
The cashier is just going to scan, okay, this is how much you're paying.
So by having an integrated scale, you can block the scale from allowing them to do any price changes. Like ShopRite scales, you can't change anything on that scale, trust me. So that way it's a security thing as well. So yes, it's 25,000, but one, you're guaranteeing consistency on your pricing throughout your business, and you're going to stop theft drastically, okay, by having an integrated scale. Barcode printers, also another thing we clearly don't push nearly enough of, right? So I think because of one thing, we don't realize that it is also the primary way to be doing pricing on shelves. Yeah, clear. Okay, it's the primary way of doing pricing on shelves. Did you know that, Mambo? That barcode printers are the price sticker printer.
Yeah, because that was a sticker, so once you print, you go to stick.
No, not sticky. There's a specific label for pricing that you keep the backing on, it doesn't stick. Then you get shelf strips and you slide it into the...
Oh, I've never dealt with shelf strips. I thought it was just the ordinary stickers.
No, so the stickers are for people that have products that don't have barcodes, that's a lot, that they want to print a sticker and stick it on to be able to scan it.
With the actual barcodes and the PI label. What you're talking about is the PI label.
Yes, the price.
Print out the price, which you're saying you put in the shop. So you're saying the right thing, but you're missing it with the barcode. Instead of it being the price.
And you can do like department printouts and GRV printouts and stuff like that automatically through the system. So we're not selling it correctly at the moment.
So that barcode printer for the businesses, let's say it's a retail store, right? Part of the benefit is if the customer is, if it's a self-serving retail store, it means it's easier instead of you writing there physically, yourself with a pen or changing. This thing will actually just be printing for you, and you just want to change. Price adjustments every time.
Custom doesn't just ask for the price. Once they reach at the product, oh, this is so much, this is so
Yeah.
much.
So we need to understand we also have shelving solutions, like not this actual pricing solutions. Right? We need to understand we've got, I think, like 7,000 shelf strips here. Right? But nobody's ever selling shelf strips. So when we reach a customer and we see like he's busy just sticking things everywhere and he's printing from PowerPoint, we can also sell the right pricing solution for him. So I think they call it a pricing system. So we can sell them the pricing system because it's integrated into the software. And then desktop solutions for this type of industry is common. So this is where the refurbished desktops come in. They shouldn't really be sold to restaurants or food and beverage. Again, if it's a wholesaler and they really just like, let's say they're not too worried about how things look and so forth, we'll provide them with a desktop solution. If it's somebody who wants to look fancy and wants the place to look presentable, then still go with the all-in-one. Okay? Because the all-in-one looks a lot better than having a desktop. It looks way more professional. A butchery consideration. So for butcheries, they operate similar to supermarkets, but we generally like the same type of hardware setup, but we have to emphasize the importance of a scale to a butchery. Okay? It's really crucial for them that they need to be having integrated scales, because if they don't, you can lose your business, right? You're going to have to stop there every day to avoid them stealing your meat. You're going to notice it too late. And then wholesalers selling large boxes may not need barcode scanners, because they cannot lift it onto the counter. So that is the consideration there. So basic hardware for these types of industries: PC and screen, scanner, cash drawer, scale if applicable. Okay, so generally these two things here changes from or all-in-one. Oh, sorry, print is missing here. Sorry. Remind me to add print on here. Obviously, a thermal printer is still necessary for them. But PC screen and the scanner. So PC screen meaning the 7100 option. Okay. Scanner, cash drawer, scale if applicable, and then the receipt printer is always, I think that's for everybody, is a receipt printer. So generally like what you're seeing here, that's now all-in-one, but imagine it can also be a desktop, right? Then the cash drawer, printer, scanner, okay? So generally when you see there's a lot of products with barcodes and stuff, no, it's this type of industry. If they're dealing with the kitchen, making food, it's the other industry. Okay, do you understand like what the differences are in the two industries?
Yeah.
Okay, now this is for everybody. So that was hardware. This is now just general quoting rules for everybody. Okay, setup and installation and training must be included in every quote. Okay, for every store. Okay, the setup is for every store. You can't not have that in a quote. And you can't, we've now made it one item, but previously we had people removing setup and adding training or vice versa.
Sometimes the customers themselves are just asking, but why is this separate?
So we have a brochure now. We have a brochure now explaining the 2-day thing, right? So you'll be giving them why. Here's the brochure. Here explains exactly why. Right? What is the process that will be followed in those? It's a course you're buying. It's like a whole thing that you're buying, right? So we cannot modify it. It's a course. There's a 2-day setup process where we come and we explain this on day 1 and this on day 2, and okay. It's not just a technician pushes on site and you ask him some questions and he leaves. Okay. Travel charges if the site is more than 150 kilometers away or more than 2 hours traveling time. Basically what you should think like is my guy gonna have to sleep over? Right? If he's sleeping over, you need to add the travel charge. Okay? If it's not reachable and back, because remember now 2 hours is already a lot, because that means 4 hours in that day is traveling. Right? So the moment it's like becoming unfeasible to travel, you need to add the travel charge so the guy can go to sleep there. Okay? And just for the technician's sake, that if only when this is charged do we give them food allowance or an housing allowance. Okay? Subscriptions, add for all PCs and confirm monthly or annual preference. Meaning, okay, how many laptops are you going to be using the system on? How many pieces are you going to be using the system on? Make sure we quote the software correctly, because that quote is how many PCs are allowed on the system. You have to include your software quote on the same quote. Okay? We got it? Okay, I have to include it. Okay. Yeah, this is just going through that. You have to follow these quoting principles. If there's something we haven't covered, you need to bring it up and address it so that we can give you a new guidance on how that works. Okay? Come close if you need to see. So it just says follow this SOP, which just means standard operating procedure, just means the way we do things. Strictly and ensure consistency. Confirm the customer requirements before finalizing the quote. That's why I'm saying do the quote while you're with the guy. Okay? So you can even see, like, as you're doing the quote, we're now at 80,000. No, shit, I don't know.
Check this out.
Yeah, exactly. And ensure all essential components are included, meaning the setup has to be included and software has to be included. Hardware is optional, but you now have hardware targets. I'm sure all of you are aware that we want 40% of sales to be hardware. We know that?
Yeah.
Okay? So it is now a target, but it's optional in the quote actually. If the guy doesn't want hardware from you because he has hardware, you can't force it, right? But setup installation is a must. Right? And the software is a must. Okay, and that's it. There we go.